Hello, YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. And yes, I have my lighting, I have my fan. And how you doing in YouTube land? I love saying that. And look, we also have Apollo the Cat, formerly known as Apollo the Kitten, and of course Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person for my YouTube videos. Drake is not getting this cuteness. Drake, how can you ignore this kitty cuteness? What's the matter with you, mister? Look at this kitty cuteness. It's just overdrive, overtime, out of control cuteness. Look at this cuteness. Seriously, look at this cuteness. Oh, I gotta clean your eyes again. I know, but you get them so filthy, and I'm sure your sister's segment has something to do with that, but I'm gonna have to clean. Oh, that looks nasty. I love you. You're not nasty, but yeah, I'm gonna need to clean your eyes, and you know what that means. You don't like it, but it's necessary because you and your sister get into these roughhousing moments, and it's like, So anyway, like I was saying, so it is my pleasure to present to you a BookTube video. In honor of National Hispanic Heritage Month, I am reading Family Lore by Elizabeth Acevedo. And of course, I'm going to have Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, do a close-up of the cover of the book. Drake, are you being distracted? And this is the back. This is the soft cover, by the way. This is not the hard cover. Some people call this a paperback, but I'm like, this isn't, I guess it is, but anyway. So I'm going to read to you the synopsis, and then I'm going to tell you about my experiences with the book so far. So, from the National Book Award winning author Elizabeth Acevedo comes the story of one Dominican American family told through the voices of its women. Flor has a gift. She can predict to the day when someone will die. So when she decides to throw her own living wake, bringing together family to celebrate her long life, her sisters are concerned. What has she foreseen? The news brings a web of complications for the Marte family, who are forced to confront truths they've long tried to conceal. Because Flor isn't the only person with secrets. Family Lore traces the intertwining stories of 5 women, sisters and cousins, mothers and daughters, aunts and nieces, to ask the ultimate question. What does it take to live a good life for yourself and those you love? Elizabeth Acevedo is the New York Times best-selling author of The Poet X, which won the National Book Award for Young People's Literature, With the Fire on High and Clap When You Land, With the Fire on High and Clap When You Land, meaning she won National Book Awards for Young People's Literature for those 2 novels. It just so happens, as well as her bestseller, The Poet X. Now, it just so happens that Family Lore is Elizabeth Acevedo's first adult novel. Now, one of the biggest differences between a young adult novel, a YA novel, and an adult novel is that an adult novel will touch on themes of an adult nature. And yes, that does include sex, that does include sexual expression, sexuality. One of the characters has an alpha vagina. I'm not going to say who. You're going to have to read the book to find out, number 1, what an alpha vagina is, and number 2, and keep in mind that even though I'm a gay man, I was raised in a household of women. So I am aware of things like menstrual cycles and tampons and all that other stuff. But I will tell you that I have learned some very new names for a vagina. Terms and descriptions that I have never seen before in a book, never heard in a movie, never heard in a song. But I will tell you that I've learned some very interesting terms for a vagina. and I'm just going to leave it at that. This is a soap opera. The Spanish word for soap opera is telenovela, because it is a televised soap opera. It es una telenovela. Tele for television, and novela, a novella with one L for a soap opera type piece of literature. This is a telenovela. This is absolutely a soap opera in book form. And make no mistake, it is a soap opera. I am currently at the beginning of one of the Camila chapters, specifically page 231 in this softcover edition. I have been not spending as much time with it as I did up until a few days ago, because there have been other books that have been dominating my attention. It happens that way sometimes, as some of you know. But I will definitely say that I look forward to completing this novel by no later than October 15th, because one of the reasons why I am happily reading this Dominican soap opera is because it is National Hispanic Heritage Month, which is from September 15th through October 15th. I will include any social media and website information for Ms. Acevedo. Let me just tell you that she has a new fan in me, and I look forward to reading all of her other novels and all of her other works, and I am very interested in what else she writes. I will say that there are so many wonderful blurbs about this book, from Vanity Fair, from The Atlantic, from Publishers Weekly. There is a blurb from one of my fellow Alvarez's, Julia Alvarez, who is the author of Afterlife and How the Garcia Girls Lost Their Accents. That's two different books. Afterlife is one, and How the Garcia Girls Lost Their Accents is another. And I must admit that book has been drawing me. And there is another blurb from another best-selling author, namely Naima Koster, New York Times best-selling author of What's Mine and Yours. And Angie Cruz, author of How Not to Drown in a Glass of Water and Dominicana, which is probably going to be one of the next ones on my list. And of course, being of Cuban origin, I am aware that there are similarities between Cubans, Puerto Ricans, and Dominicans. But Dominican life is very interesting. And I say that not disrespectfully. I say that because I really don't know that much about Dominican culture. I know a little bit. I don't know that much. But I definitely find myself learning more about Dominican culture through this novel, which definitely makes me very happy, number one. And number two, technically this book can be categorized as magical realism. And Tara, who is the living goddess who founded Bookhaven Books, knows how much I love books with magical realism, especially those written by the Zoraida Córdoba. And of course, the Silvia Moreno Garcia. But I can go on and on and on. And I want to keep this video a little on the shorter side if possible. But let me know in the comments, have you read this book? If you have, let me know what you think about it. If you've read any of her other books, let me know in the comments. But I definitely want to let you know that I am enjoying this book very much. I have moved back into the savoring stage, but I know that it is only a matter of time before I start moving into the devouring stage. And this is one of several books that I'm reading in honor of National Hispanic Heritage Month. I will definitely do another one soon. But yes, because I do want to do a few more BookTube videos honoring some wonderful Latinx and Latine authors for their contributions to the world of literature. So, as always, stay in tune with your intuition. Stay safe. Hold on. So, thank you to Tara of Bookhaven Books for introducing me to Elizabeth Acevedo. Thank you to Anays for introducing me to Elizabeth Acevedo's family lore, for recommending family lore to me. And of course, thank you to since the closing of discoverbooks.com, my two main book websites are betterworldbooks.com and thriftbooks.com. And I do not remember from which one of those two I purchased this copy, but whoever you are, whether it's Better World Books or whether it's thriftbooks.com, thank you so much for having a copy of this available for purchase, and the copy that I wanted too, a softcover edition. And of course, thank you to Elizabeth Acevedo for writing an adult novel that is so dramatic and melodramatic and intense and juicy and escandaloso. Because this is a scandal of a soap opera, everybody. Scandalous soap opera, okay? Okay. And of course, thank you to all of you in YouTube land for all the likes, comments, shares, and subscriptions to my YouTube channel. And an extra big and beautiful and bountiful and beauteous thank you to everyone who had a reading with me at last Saturday's Hispanic Heritage Mercadito, and everybody who's going to have a reading with me in October at either the Moon, Serpent, and Bone 7th Annual Samhain Night Market or the 4th Annual Spirit of Sobro on South Broadway in Nyack, New York, as well as for private sessions as well. And courtesy of yours truly, Apollo the Cat, formerly known as Apollo the Kitten. Look at this cuteness. Oh my God. The cuteness. The kitty cuteness. So cute. Stay in tune with your intuition. Stay safe. Stay well. Stay hydrated. And stay super cute like a kitty. And of course, stay tuned for the next video. Isn't that right, Apollo? So cute.